All right. Well, I have literally no idea what I'm going to work on. So, let's see here. Mm, cannot. Um, cannot work on anything. Oh, cannot work on anything too risque. However, buddy, I don't know what you're barking at. You barking at the plant out there? Because plant's been out there. You know? It's out there. You can come over here if you want. But you're being a little nut job. Right. There's one. Got it. Okay. So this is a cover that. Where did I put that? Oh, because I was working on something when I was out there. That's why. Okay. So this is a cover of Blink that I was working on. Let's see here. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit. Really don't like a lot of these. There we go. Thank you. Just having kind of a down week. Not feeling the greatest about things. So I was talking to somebody online and they asked, well, is there anything you can do to like do some self-care? I appreciate that. Hi, Rebecca. Um, it's just my version of Blink. Um, she was going to be in Generation X, like the original initial run, and then during the Grayson, during the initial run, when they were building to the team, they killed her off. Bye, Melissa. Thank you. So this is Blink. This is what she looks like. And then, so they brought her back in Age of Apocalypse, and that's when the character like hella took off. So I had been wanting to do a Blink sketch cover for a while, and I was having a lot of trouble figuring out like how to do it, like what pose to use. And I eventually finally settled on like more of a punk rock look. So she's got like the earrings and the like shaved side of the head. She's gonna have like more of a punk t-shirt. It's a Pentel brush pen. I've been using brush pen for a little bit now. I really like it. Was never really able to use like a brush. So even when I do watercolors, I use like a brush pen, reservoir pen like this, but which I just got a new set. Which so I need to like bust that out. Yeah, yeah. So you just fill this part up with water, and then it comes in like varying like points and tip forms and stuff like that. And then the water supposed to just like kind of flow out naturally. But if you want to like saturate or blend, then you squeeze it and it brings out more water. Um, it's kind of nice for individuals like myself who have very little. I'm pretty heavy-handed, and um, so it's kind of nice to have something that really forces me to adjust how like tight I'm gripping onto stuff. I think it also probably helps, my hands and my wrists not like get stiff right away, kind of thing. So, but I've had this sketch cover just kind of sitting here in the half finished section for, God, like a couple of weeks now, I think. And so I really just kind of want to get her done. Oh, so the Pentel, these reservoirs are already pre-filled with pigment. With the reservoir brush pen, with this, it's specifically for watercolors, so you're putting water in it. I don't know that I'd try anything else in that one, just because I don't know like if it's like if it would clog the tube or anything like that. It looks like the same system though, where you have like it filters down through that, and then when you squeeze it, it sends more fluid or pigment down. Honestly, I don't know. I've never tried a different medium through it. The watercolor reservoirs are fairly cheap, so like I think I'd be okay if I like tested that though. Thank you. I mean, it takes practice. I was scared of using these, and then I just tried it and I tested it, and I kind of liked, the thick thin of the lines. So I just kept working at it. And then the watercolors came when I decided I was going to work on my horror comic. And I felt like a kind of a gritty, like dirty, unpolished watercolor look would be beneficial because, well, I wasn't very good with watercolors because I didn't use them. The other characters, um, I use brush pen quite a bit. So most of the time, on my channel, I have like a lot of like time lapse videos and stuff like that, and a lot of them are done with brush pen and then these tech pens. So most of the time I'm using brush pen. I think the only time I don't use it is if specifically somebody wants, like I'm doing like a very animated, like hyper animated something. So it's got to have like a really consistent, like bold line outline kind of thing. And then I might just do, like a, what do you call it? I used to have pen over here, but they were like, I would buy them in the, what section was it at Michael's? It was the scrapbooking section, and it had like a bullet tip on one side and a fine point tip on the other. And the bullet tip was more along the lines of like a Sharpie that had been a little bit rounded out. And I really kind of like that for like the more thick graffiti line, animated graffiti line kind of thing. The tech pens, yeah, just they're pretty. I mean, these are disposable tech pens. You may be thinking about the repeatographs, those ones that are like 40 or 50 bucks a piece, probably more now. Those, I like those too, but you had to like fill them and then empty the reservoir and clean them every single time. So it was really meant for like people who were kind of like draftsmen, and we're gonna like really stick to making sure you were clearing them out and cleaning them with like there was like it wasn't quite acetone, but it was a pretty harsh it might have been like an acetone. But she's got like, I was thinking of doing, it's got like the open inner portion of like the elbow. I've been watching these nature videos on YouTube, especially when I work. And this week I found the video of the there's a national park up in Alaska. I'm sure there's probably a couple with how big that state is, but this is the Brooks Falls brown bears. And so there's a bunch of brown bears that are at this small waterfall, and they're fishing for salmon, and the salmon are all swimming upstream right now. And so the salmon are jumping out of the water, going up the waterfall. And like, it's Yeah. I had one of those. I think that was my first repeatograph was the brown one. Yeah. A class. But yeah, the video has been like really fun to watch, like the bears just kind of wander around and commiserate and stuff like that. And so I know Blink has like magenta, hot pink, like wine colored hair, but I kind of did like a ton of lines, right? And they all intersect and they all like look kind of crazy. So give her like a lot of black underneath, and then you do some like lighter fills, and it'll bring out some of the color when I put it in. So also kind of reminds me last night I had tried watching it a couple of times and I finally finished. um it was only like an 8 episode series, Shinobi Girl, and it was really inexpensively made, and there was like a lot of cheesiness with how, I guess, how cheap it looked and stuff like that. But I kind of enjoyed it. There were parts of it that I really enjoyed. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of neat how you can like just fix stuff, right? So to probably do something along the lines of like I don't know, fishnets, or like a fishnet sleeves would be good. So one thing I learned somewhat recently is if you're using a plastic eraser like this and it gets like graphite all over it, the best thing to do is kind of like rub all the graphite off of it on a blank piece of paper so you don't pull any on your art piece. So see how there's graphite right there? So then you just, and it's cleaned off and it'll be a little bit better and not pull ink or rub or smudge stuff. So now there's a little bit right there. Just clean it off again. I mean, yeah, I was planning on, doing like a few pops of color onto it. I don't know that I'll do that tonight, but definitely like giving her so she's got like the mark on her face and the mark right there, and then she's got another one up here. So should probably put that in as well. But I was also going for like the punk rock look, so giving her like a nose ring, maybe even a septum. Hey, Angel. Did you just say hello, randos? Dude. I don't know. I don't know. I did another one with Magic where I was doing like Kirby Crackle of like the portal she opened. But that's not really how like Blink's power works. Like Blink opens a portal and passes through it. I guess I could just play with it a little bit and see like what I want to do with it. Or I could just put her portaling in somewhere. So oh, Angel, I saw something the other day. It was like Mad Magazine related or something like that, and it made me think about you. I forget what it was. I think it was Mad Magazine related. I picked up a few books at the half off sale at Space Monkey last week. Including some blanks. So I have a couple of Dark Knight Returns blanks. Harley Elvira. Couple of Gunslinger. Yeah, I think it's weird. Like, I mean, not weird. I understand why they brought it back and everything, but like, what was it, like 2018, 2019? They were like, we're not going to make physical issues anymore. But then, you know, they figured out that, you know, their readership didn't want like digital content and didn't want just rehashes. They wanted new stuff. So that's like a huge credit to the fans for like making sure that it stayed alive. What are you wagging your tail at? Do you need to go outside? Hold on, guys. I think my dog needs to go outside. I'll be right back. You gonna go out? Oh my God, he gets so sad when I like, and then he just runs right back inside. when I go to like close the door behind him, he gets all sad because he thinks I'm gonna like lock him out, and I'm like, buddy, I just don't want the AC to, the cold air to go outside. Like, no, he doesn't. He definitely doesn't like to be alone. I mean, he does okay when I go to work and stuff, but I don't know why this picture just made me think of the movie Rubber. Now I kind of want to watch it. This hand is not very good. Probably should have resketched it a couple of times before inking it. I'm gonna go close the back door because I think he came back in. So I go to check the back door to like close it because I thought he came back inside, and he's actually back outside now. He's such a goofball. So, I mean, pulling her out of like just pure blackness actually might be kind of a good visual. I don't remember if you're a toy guy or not, Angel, but there is like a mini toy show at the Collector's Territory this weekend on Saturday. I am not tabling, but I do plan to just like go down there so I can be around people. Having kind of a rough week, so it'd be kind of nice to just do a little bit of socializing. The whole day. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Angel, that I don't know if you've been to Tuscan before, but um Tuscan apparently, I mean, not apparently, I know they've been around for a really long time, but um I signed up. I mean, waiting to hear back, of course, but I signed up and so did JoJo for it. Gonna see if maybe we get in as um, exhibitors for the show this year because it's fantasy, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. So, like 2 days after I submitted my application, everybody got an email saying that they were pretty overwhelmed by the amount of um, applications, and they were checking to see if people wanted to double up and share tables. And while that would be okay, like I have way too much stuff to, like way too much merch to just have like a 3 foot section of a table. Like that would be, I don't even know if that would be like a portfolio and some drawing area. Like, yeah, but I didn't know what I was going to work on because I just, this was kind of just an impromptu. Did you end up going to the card show at all, Angel? A couple of weeks back, 2 weeks ago? No, card. CARD. Trade, like trading card show? I didn't do very well, but at the end of the day, I ended up. One of my friends who does sports cards agreed to take the whole big stack of like two gigantic boxes of sports cards off my hands, and he said he would look at trying to make like full sets because all my sports cards, or like the overwhelming majority of my sports cards, are from like an era when they were mass produced, like insanely mass produced. and don't really have any like inherent dollar value. And so he was saying like the way that he is able to sell those types of cards from that era are if he's able to make sets, like complete sets. So long as the cards are in good condition, which they are, might be a little dusty, but that's about it. He will try to put together sets, which will take time. But he's just like, I got nothing but time at this point. So if it helps him and it doesn't see the cards go to waste, I'm all about that. Yeah, I think that'll do for her for now. Maybe starting to post the sketch cards that I've done on eBay. And I forget if it was you, Angel, or if it was Dustin who asked if sketch cards were like good sales wise. And I mean, they are and they aren't. It, you know, it depends on where you are and like who's looking and stuff like that. But they're kind of, depending on how complicated you make it, they're easy to do. They tend to be a smaller price point, which people like. And you put them in the top loaders and they'll be like nice and safe for people. And I sold 4 cards in the last like 3 weeks, like right before the card show and then right after the card show. And just about $200, a little under $200. So 2 were a commission. So they weren't pieces that I already had. And then 2, one was a piece that was completely finished when it was purchased, and the other was a piece that was penciled when somebody asked about that specific character. And then I showed him, and he was just like, oh, yeah, I want that. So let's see here. So I've got that magic cover that I need to pencil, or I need to ink. I've got Lobo. Supergirl of Tomorrow, and one of my Batman Dark Knight Returns. And then I think these are all like PG-13 enough that I can show them. So there's Flux in her workout gear. There's, that one might be kind of hard to see. There's Ryan in a bikini. There's just a blank. And then that's Nikki in some pinstripe lingerie. Oh, wait. Yeah, that I couldn't show. Whoops. Pay no attention to that. Oh, it's a good thing no one watches my channel. All right, he's back inside. I'm going to go close the door. Oh, okay. I'm trying to think if I want to like draw anything else or if I want to just kind of cut this short. Grayson, 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 hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know I can see you and hear you right now, right? And the entirety of the YouTube viewing audience can hear you. Let's see here. Don't really want to work on the magic. Let's do a couple of rough sketches and see. Oh, he'd want me to draw him. He'd want me to draw him as like a terrifying kaiju. I still have to do all those rest of the Bubble Patrol kaiju stickers. It might be a fun project to work on online, doing like a digital live stream of it. Because it'd just be like screen capture. So Grayson has he has like no neck. He has a really wide shoulders. So he's got blocky shoulders. He's kind of got a big head for such a little dog. And he kind of cinches in. So that's essentially Grayson. He's got a white chest. He's got a big nose. You do have a big nose. He's got like one tooth that sticks out on that side. You do have a tooth that sticks out on that side. And then he's kind of got little wild eyes. And so whenever I draw him, he kind of has, like, his irises really fill up his entire eye socket. But a little bit of it, like you get a little bit of the white. And so they're a little, like he's a little wall-eyed. So he's also, like, his head is shaped kind of like that. It's not a perfect sphere. He doesn't really have a big head, but like when he's sitting in my lap and I'm leaned back, his head is always like perfect, like right in the way of the television. So I always tell him he has a big head. And then right now, his dog tag, like his little collar, he's got the little ID tag, which is a bone. And then his big brother, Foley, always loved wearing a Jingle Bell collar around the holidays. It's probably my favorite, more modern tradition was putting on the Jingle Bell collar onto Foley at Thanksgiving, and then we would take it off like right after Christmas. And I noticed like the first or second time that we did that, Foley wanted to keep the Jingle Bell collar on. He really liked it. So when he got sick, for the last full year of his life, he wore the Jingle Bell collar. And we called him the Jingle Boy. So many, like, I think it had like 4 or 5 bells on it, but by the time we took it off him for the last time, I think it only had like 2 bells on it. And I even tried sewing 1 or 2 bells on it, and they just didn't stay. And so to honor Foley, we put a large bell on the key ring that we had to redo for Grayson's dog tag because it like popped off. And so now he has a bell to pay tribute to Foley. And it helps a little bit because his little maniac runs all over the place. And so sometimes I can hear him coming down the hallway, or like if he's moving around, or like rubbing his face on stuff. So he's got a little white tuxedo chest. And like actually like a little, like a white goatee. And he's got a little, like on the reverse side, on the back side of his neck, he's got like a little patch, little white patch on the back of his neck. And his back feet, his back toes they're white. And then both of his front legs, he's got white socks on both of his front legs. And then if you kind of let his hair grow out a little bit, he grows these like little kind of antenna off the top of his ears. It's just this like fine hair that grows off there. But yeah, that's essentially Grayson. And whenever I draw the dogs, I always draw them with just 3 toes. It's just my style. So with the kaiju, the Bubba Patrol kaiju designs, Guri is the light kaiju, so she is Mothra. She's got these little cardboard wings on. And then Agnew is like the Godzilla kaiju. He's the Tucson coffee kaiju. So he's wearing a Godzilla onesie. And so then I have to pick, there's like, Foley is going to be Gamera. the other thing I have to do, is I have to figure out who's going to be who. Because I don't want everybody to be in Toho. He does have little spots on his white socks. Like his socks are dirty. I don't know, guys. We get kind of tired. So I think that'll do it. But yeah, finally got this inked, which is kind of nice. But I'm going to try to come back and do something next week, maybe. Try to have something planned ahead of time. Started working on chapter 3. And I don't want to do that for any of my videos or any of my live streams, because I want people to be able to read chapter 3 in its entirety and it just hit. But maybe some more sketch cards, or the work on the kaiju designs and stuff like that, but doing them on Clip Studio. So like we did a couple months ago with the Akira pieces and the Godzilla sticker. So I'm gonna wrap it up. If you're still here, hold on a second. But yeah, I am going to I'm going to call it a night. You guys have a good night, and yeah, I will see you later.